So I am making a little wrap-up video since I most likely will not be meeting up this weekend. It's my first weekend out there in a long time, and I would very much so appreciate having it. So most of her notes are going to be the same as for Lucy, so we're going to refer back to those. Rosie was a little bit trickier to work with, and I don't think it's because she's less of a child. It's just because she was a little older and had much more of a reinforcement history with those unwanted things that we don't like. So I've found that I've had to be a little bit stricter with her and a little bit, I don't want to use the word firmer, but like kind of really making it a point to follow through with things that I'm asking her, really asking for my personal space, and being very specific with how I reward things. So given if she was here for the normal 4 weeks, that usually is the training, I would really get into more of the variable reward schedule. So what I'm really doing for her right now is, when I give her a command, if she doesn't do it, I'm doing a little bit of leash pressure to help her go into behavior, but ultimately, if she's not doing it right away, I'm going to get her to go into behavior and then release her out of it and then try again. And I'm not going to give her any type of reinforcement until she does the behavior just by being asked to do so. And I found that that's a little bit more motivating. So she gets frustrated because those rewards that were, the first week being given consecutively, every single time she does something, she got a treat, and then I kind of start withholding those. I want her to get a little bit frustrated and try new things to get back onto that schedule. So that's my motivation technique to say, if you want something from me, you need to try a little bit harder, because she's, just a lazy puppy, just used to getting her way all the time. The jumping stuff, again, really advocating for my own personal space. Every time I walk up to her, I'm just like obnoxiously rude to her. Not mean, there's no emotion behind it, but I'll just say, out, and almost like walk into her and make her get out of my space. I want her to know that my personal space really is important to me, and I'm going to enforce that and advocate for that on every little tiny level that I can get, because if I'm just only telling her she can't jump on me, there's so many other nuances that she's getting away with, like crowding my space, bumping into me, jumping up on me when I'm sitting down, all of those things. I want her to know that at all times, my personal space is really, really, really important. With the counter surfing, she's never had an option to do it here. I'm either always working with her, she's doing something like this, and like right now, let's see if I can scan over, there's a slot at some points. Place. Rude. The whole table over here has like different foods and all that good stuff on there. So if she ever starts to show interest, I just call her away. So, place. If it's something where we can't watch her all the time, she stays in the kitchen. I think that we're putting a lot of expectation on a puppy to make really good choices, that an animal that has the mental capacity of a 2-year-old child. Like, would you expect a child not to go up and grab the little tidbitties? So that's going to be a lot of you guys pushing things back and better managing her, like keeping her in a kennel if she can't be trusted. My shepherd, she's amazing, and I would trust her with a lot of things, but for safety, I don't let her just wander around the house ever. And that's just me like covering all my bases, making sure that I'm not putting my animal into a situation that they're going to get in trouble. So do I expect my dog not to jump on the table? Absolutely. But do I expect my dog to make the right decision all the time? No. So I'm covering my butt with that one. Excuse you, don't eat my leash. Hey. Is it stuck in your mouth? You're such a goober. Place. With her crate stuff, I've been really specific with how I work with Miss Rosie. So what I have found is I want there to be a lot of interactive play between owner human, and her. Not as much with Lucy, like that's okay if that happens, but I really want that bonding walking experience, playing with toys, letting her chase you around, playing those types of games where she's finding value in you in a doggy way, and not just like, oh, we're sitting on the couch watching TV together. Like that's the relaxation portion of it. But I want her finding value in being silly and playing. She should have, a part of her day, that kind of exposure, but she does need a lot of quiet time. A lot of quiet time to relax. So how I'm doing that is we do a little bit of playtime. For me, I like to do a lot of interactive stuff. So I take her on the long line and I let her explore. I'll call her back to me, pay her for that, let her go back to exploring, back and forth a little bit. Then we'll do like a little bit of leash working where I'm paying her or staying by my side. And then we'll come in and I'll give her like 10 to 15 minutes of the place command. So she kind of is still working with me, but in a much more neutral setting where she's relaxing and being a little bit more aware of mental stuff, mental stimulation. And then I will put her in her kennel and I'll hang out for a minute. Yesterday was the first day that I put her away in her kennel and she was like, all right, whatever. Prior to that, there was a lot of vocalizations. And same thing with Lucy. I think this was the advice I gave you guys was just hang out while she's doing all those noises so she sees that it doesn't work. And when she settles down, then you can just very peacefully exit out. I do recommend finding different options of puzzle toys, anything that she can, you can just use her food, her meals. She has to push them around, move them around, whatever, to get that food. Kongs, they have little things that dispense treats when you push them around. Snuffle mats, which you can definitely do DIY if you cut up like old shirts. If you Google snuffle mat, it's SNUFFLE. It's only given under supervision, but you put her kibble in there and they have to like dig around to find it. All of those things help relax, but the point of me getting to this is she is definitely teething right now, and all of her mouthy stuff is because it feels good, because she is essentially a toddler and explores the world with her mouth, and because she's finding her own fulfillment. So again, going back to interactive play, whenever we don't give our dogs enough of that window of need, they take it upon themselves to find those things. So if she's getting into things in the house, exploring the counter, digging stuff, eating her leash, that's because she doesn't have enough of the biological fulfillment that she needs as a young puppy, which is something that we take on when we get puppies, and that has to be given to her. So she needs some balance of, this is your quiet time, this is your chill time, this is your interactive play time, and this is your go have fun with doing whatever you want to time. And then we can use obedience to help navigate her when she's not making those right choices. I'm going to give you the name of a podcast episode that I highly, highly encourage you to follow. Ma'am? Hey, I think you got it, girl. That you can listen to, and it's talking about those different windows of needs for every dog. It is the podcast station, if you will, is called Something to Bark About. And the author, the DJ, I don't know what they're called. The host his name is Chad Mackin, and then the episode is, I wrote down, episode 36, Window Theory with co-person J Jack. So really great episode. It has bad language, so not with the kids around, but really great episode to listen to. But yeah, so her leash walking is actually pretty good. Not terrible. I did a little bit with her with another doodle puppy that I have right now that's about the same age and same size as her, just to kind of imitate that. I know that she goes on walks a lot with Lucy, so same stuff. Like at this age right now, I'm really, really reinforcing her being right by my side. When we come across other dogs, that is when I've noticed that she is at the most conflict of wanting to be by my side. Typically, if we're just walking down the road by ourselves, she's like, all right, cool, whatever, we're doing this. She sees another dog, she's a very social creature, she wants to go say hi. So again, I'm working extra hard to put value on myself as her handler. So when we're walking, and as soon as she sees another dog and she's like, hey, dog, I'm not waiting for her to start moving towards it, I'm not waiting for her to start barking, anything like that. As soon as she sees another dog, I'm going to chant her name, Rosie, and let her run back with me and give her food, play with her, be silly, just let her chase me, whatever you have available. I want her to just think of other dogs and other people as they just exist. There's neutral, they're neutral, they're not good, they're not bad, nothing happens from them other than them existing. But when I see them, I know what does happen, good things come from my owner, my mom or dad, whatever you guys want to call yourselves. And again, it's more work right now. I don't have the magic wand. It's going to make her just be some magical unicorn creature. It's going to be a little bit of workout and effort on your part to build that motivation. She's doing really well with me, but that's because every time I take her out, I'm prepared, and I'm ready with treats, and I'm ready with things that she's going to find a value. How I present them is not just, here's a cookie, it's, come on, let her chase me and be silly. Practicing her place command. Again, every time she comes inside, let her have a few minutes of this, relax, settle down from all of her stuff outside, put her in her kennel for a little bit during the day so that she's not just associating the kennel with the family leaving. You know, I want her to learn how to be quiet, and I want her to have more time separate from Lucy where she's playing with you. It's okay that they play together. That's fine, you have multiple dogs, but I think that it's really great that dogs find just as much value in the person that takes care of them than other dogs. Because when they only find value in their sibling dogs, that's when, you know, our lack of value makes it really hard to get them to do anything because they're just simply not motivated by us. So we have to put in that effort, we have to put in that work to get that relationship where if you say her name, she's like, all right, bye, other dog in the house. I'm gonna go see what my family wants because they're always really great to me. They play with me, they're silly with me, they give me food, they feed me, they take care of me, they take me outside, all of that stuff. But you have to put in that effort to get that. That doesn't just come naturally. And I only have one today. I have multiple dogs and they really like each other, and they are not always, like, I have to work very hard to make them disengage from each other. They like to play. And when I don't put in that motivation work, I see a lot of conflict when I call one of them away from each other, and I have to be silly and find my motivation to get them to be like, all right, bye. And they usually both come to me, but stopping what they're doing to move towards me and do what I want them to do, without any type of like force or anything. Like I told the Lucy part of things, really make sure you're following through with everything that you're asking her. That is the secret sauce of dog training. If you're just kind of like asking her to do something and then she's like, I don't want to, and you're like, I don't have time for this. Dogs do not understand sometimes. They only know never and always. So if it's they're never allowed to do this, that becomes extinct. If they're always supposed to do this or they always get this, that is going to be something that they continue to do because that gives them good stuff. If it's sometimes happening, sometimes yes, sometimes no, they're going to take that gamble because there is a possibility that it does exist. Right, girl? Miss Rose? Okay. Hi. I always say make the leash your friend. Thank you. We know that she's going to jump on us. She likes to do it. So as soon as you start engaging with her and she's just like collecting herself up, before she gets a chance to take those little paws off the ground, tell her no. I know when she's going to do it. Hi. Good girl. She can have all the same affections, but they come from down there. The paw, that is, I don't allow that because that is the gateway to being rude. And when she's crowding my space, Rosie, out. I just walk into her a little bit, play my space, and it only goes as much as until she gives me the space. So I'm not like being mean to her, I'm not physically doing anything to her. I just want her to move away from me. Rosie, out. Good. And perfect. Even if it's just a little bit. So going in and out of doorways. Let's see if the thing will follow me. If she's coming up here and being a softy Sally, and she's back because she's perfect. Oh, it's getting stuck. I will make her out away from the door, which I didn't need to do because she already knows this picture. Hi. Wait. Sorry, my thing's getting stuck on a book, so that's why it sounds like that. Okay. Come on, little girl. Nope. Rosie. Start back over. Good girl. Out. Good. Okay. Yeah. Ah. Good girl. Yeah. Now, wait until I turn my back. Out. Just like that. I'm moving into her. She's getting out of my way. Something you can try at home for like the counter surfing and kind of, accidents in the house. I don't know if she's doing that. She's really good about sitting back in here. Much better than Rosie. Getting into things, any of that, umbilical training, tethering, I don't remember what people call it. Essentially, you're just attaching her to you. So she's with you all the time. She's getting used to moving out of your space, otherwise she'll step on, and she's not allowed to wander off. When kids are got really quiet, they're doing something wrong. That's what dogs do. So she doesn't have the opportunity to go and get into anything. You can stop her as soon as she's right there with you. So she's not allowed to go do those things. So she's creating the habit of not doing bad stuff. So I feel like there's something else I want us to talk about. If I remember, I will make another video. Please let me know if you have any questions or any of that good stuff. If we need to do anything follow up after the holidays, if you want to get with me, we can. And I'm sorry I'm not going to be available this weekend. I just have to get, I haven't had any time. I've been working every single day, so I have to go do Christmassy things before it's not an option anymore. All right, we're all 10.